And Jordan Jarvis, again, in my opinion, an integral part of what we have going on here. JH joining us here, and I can't quite see it, but that looks like that looks like possibly the 238, possibly of getting that early lead in this one. We'll run down some of the top finishers. Hayden Deegan did take the win in the first moto of this. This was no division races. Bryce Shelley took second. And look at that, Dax Bennick is back there in the number 2 spot to open this one up. He finished up in the number 5 spot on board that Monster Energy Star Racing Yamaha, but he gets off to a better start here. It looks like we might have 2 Monster Energy Star Racing Yamahas in 1 and 2 in this second moto. Casey Cochran, welcome aboard as well, my friend.
I'm back. Yes.
Both of those Star Yamaha bikes had a great start. They had a good jump off the gate, ran down the start straight. Looks like Hayden had a better angle out of Bennick, though. Made some really good moves. He was a little bit further back. Definitely made some good moves down here early on to put himself in a position to get it done.
I gotta wonder. I know there was those race fans that went, yes, Deegan got the whole shot, but I wonder how many race fans went, oh man, he got the whole shot. Not because they don't want to see him win, but because they would want to see him.
Fun to watch. Yeah, it's fun to watch him come through the pack. Absolutely. I mean, you want to see the best guys out there do work. It's the same at any level. When you see something that upsets the script, right? The script isn't what it's supposed to be, and then they have to do the good thing that they do.
Absolutely.
It was cool. We get to see what Dax can do behind Deegan and watch him and see if he can pick up on some stuff and run up there with him. Our
Frenchman, Quentin Pruganeres, is opening up in the number 3 spot. He did finish 3rd in the 250 Pro Sport class. So our front runner of Hayden Deegan, and of course we know Dax Bennick. He finished 5th in that first moto, running 2nd right now. Pruganeers back in the number 3 spot, and Mikey Waynes has our top 3 from the women 12 plus.
Hey, thanks guys down here. 3rd place finisher Katie Benson. Again, a 3rd place finish for you out there. Who would you like to thank?
My mom, my dad, Triangle Cycles, Corey for all the work he's put into my bike. I really appreciate it. FMF, Monster, Yamaha, Triangle, everybody else. Thank you so much.
There you go. Make some noise. 3rd place finisher, Katie Benson. All right, Hannah Hodges, come on up and talk to me. Our 2nd place finisher, Hannah Hodges, making her way up now. Again, Hannah, a 2nd place finish. Who would you like to thank?
Lord Jesus Christ, keep me safe. My mom and dad, Toilet Designs, Alpine Stars, Scott, Dunlop, Ethica, Renthal, Maxima, Power Band, and anybody else I forgot. Thank you.
There we go. 2nd place finisher, Hannah Hodges. All right, we will bring up our champ of this women's 12 plus class, Kylie Stallings, making her way up. I got the champagne in hand, and she makes her way onto the box. There is some champagne to your right-hand side. Mr. Mike Burkeen got a number 1 plate he's going to hand you, and the official handshake. Oh, the hug. There you go. Making it official. Well, Kylie Stallings talked to us, a 1st place finish. A huge congratulations to you. Who would you like to thank?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank everybody, really. My mom and dad, my trainer, Robbie Raynard, my personal trainer back home, Angus, Maxima, Fox, Monster, Dunlop, Rob Fox from Dunlop, Monster Mike from Monster, Roost, Henson, CTI, Ajax, Renthal, Tamer, getting good hole shots all week, FMF. Everybody that supports me, you guys are awesome. Thank you guys so much.
There you go. Well earned. Make some noise. 1st place finisher, Kylie Stallings. We'll throw it back up to you guys in the booth. I know we got a heater.
And we do have ourselves a heater. What happened there, guys? I don't know if it's timing and scoring, but I was looking away at a few other notes and getting myself prepared to go for what's going on. Now, as we look out on the track, it is fine. It looks like that we do have.
Yeah, timing and scoring, something's definitely wrong here,
so if you're watching timing and scoring, and I just happened to look at timing and scoring, say, did something change out there? But it is still Hayden Deegan out in front of this one right now, and it is still Dax Bennick back in the number 2 spot, and I believe still Pruganeers in the number 3 position, so shouldn't have any changes in 1, 2, and 3.
And correct, and in that last lap, though, Deegan did open up a little bit further of a gap. I did see the time right before it got screwed up there, and it did look like he opened up a little bit of a gap on his teammate. And for sure, the Frenchman there doing his best to keep those boys honest, with those guys out front are clean air, and they're on a roll right now.
Well, here come your leaders now, I believe. Yep, there's Dax Bennick right behind Looks like 2:38 of Hayden Deegan. Probably about 4 seconds, maybe 5 seconds is what we're looking at as far as the deficits there. And one more lap in the history books. I'm believing this is the end of lap 4, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, Dax looks like he's hanging in there a little bit. Just needs to pick it up a little bit. He could be up there with Hayden.
What's your mindset right here, Casey, if you're in the second spot right now?
It's a long race, so I would try and, if I was in Dax's position, I'd try and keep him in my sight and see where he's going, see where he's gaining on me, see where I can pick up the lines and see what I can do better than he's doing and make some time up.
Well, it looks like we already got some lappers here. Might have been a rider that must have fallen down. It's not used to seeing lappers this early here in a race here, so gonna have that to navigate here also as well. Did a good job getting out of the way for the leaders coming through.
Looks like Garib's coming through the pack here, though, getting around a few guys.
Oh, yeah. Well, again, timing and scoring is not so.
Yeah, it has Benjamin Garib actually DNFing Moto number 1. So basically, he's just out there riding for himself in this second moto. He's not really going to have much of an effect as far as the overall is concerned with his DNF, but still good to go out and put an exclamation point on your week if you can.
Yeah, Hayden definitely just marking him here from the last lap. He's gapped him maybe a little bit further on that last one, so he's definitely found some lines that suit him right now. He's super comfortable. You can see he looks good on the bike right now. He's attacking the whole way. By no means is Daxton going slow here by any stretch of the imagination. He is definitely rolling as well. Just testament right now to how well Hayden is riding out front.
For sure. It's crazy how far apart these top three have spread from each other already. They've already got at least a few seconds between each of them.
Yeah, it's about 7 seconds from second to third place. I just did a quick count on that. Looks like timing and scoring trying to reset right now.
Lap 1.
But I think it gives us our accurate breakdowns right now. 4 seconds between Deegan and Bennick, and like we said, that 7-8 seconds between Bennick and Fruganiers. Aiden Shive in the 4th place position. Benjamin Garib in the number 5 spot. It's Andrew Wallace, Kimball Check, Chris Blackmer, Nate Mason, and Corey Carson now rounding out the top 10.
I like the different riding styles here too. Definitely a difference here. You notice, watching the Frenchman on the motorcycle, they have a distinct style that seems to come from those riders in France, and he's got it here. He just has a more natural looking flow to him. What do you think, Casey? What do you see here on the style on the motorcycle?
Definitely, he's definitely his own unique rider. The Euros they got their own different style, and they ride the bike completely differently than we do. And Garib, bike, I did see some smoke come off of it going up the step-ups, and now he's pushing it.
So it looks like we got Hayden here. It looks like... Oh, Garib, yeah, okay, Garib pushing his bike. Gotcha.
Yeah, so that's Deegan still on course. If you saw the Yamaha and took a deep breath thinking, oh my, no, that was Benjamin Garib. Just, he was running in that number 5 position.
You spent some time racing over there in Europe, Casey. You see it even more so, obviously, on their tracks and their soil, and just even they're more natural, and definitely a different riding style over here in Europe, do you think?
For sure. The tracks are a lot different than here, so they just adapt to those conditions differently, and they ride them differently, so it's a different style of riding over there. But all those guys do just...
Did you find yourself adapting to that style of riding, try to maybe find a better way through?
Definitely. At the beginning, it was tough. Getting used to those tracks, but as the week went on riding there, I definitely got more comfortable as it went, and the last moto was definitely my best of the weekend. It's crazy how different the tracks can be overseas compared to here, and how good those guys are on those kinds of tracks.
That was always something racing the Des Nations all those years. You had to take that into consideration when you went over there. It was different. It was a lot different. And you're expected to go out there and even on a different motorcycle for the Americans, because they run different rules than what we ran over here. Rule specs, those guys are on there basically their race bikes, and we have to change everything.
You know, but
it's a lot to overcome.
You do wonder, though. I mean, I know here in the United States we've got different types of soil in different places, and you would think that different soil. I mean, it would be kind of the same thing over there, just on a different part of the planet. You know, just maybe the same kind of mixtures, but it's not.
No, I mean, and the crazy thing to me is those tracks get so rough over there because they don't work on them too much, so they just get so beat up and so gnarly all day, and it's tough adapting to that style of riding.
Checking here on lap times, Hayden Deegan with a 146.5 his last lap, Bennett a 147.6, and then Quentin with a 149.4. I mean, it's a significantly faster than the rest of the field. These top three guys, and yet they're all spread out now with big gaps, 6 and 4 second gaps between them. So definitely a wide gap out here up front. And again, not going slow. 146 in this track is one of the fastest laps we've seen here for sure all day today. I'm not sure about the week, but a 146.7 is definitely getting it around this racetrack here at Gatorback.
Yeah, those top three guys are on it right now, though, on this track right now. All in the 40s, just pulling away from the guys behind.
Well, I mean, here's some interesting. Dax Bennick is 12 seconds ahead of Quintine. Then another 14 seconds back is Aiden Shive. So those are some pretty monumental gaps. But even between first and second, we're looking at 6 seconds there. But then it gets tighter with 3-second gaps between Blackmer, Chet, Mason, Trevin Nelson out there. All eyes right now, I think many eyes are on the 238, just watching, see what a race up front, what kind of masterful riding skills we can watch Hayden Deegan show us out here. Dax Bennick, though, man, that rider probably don't get as much credit sometimes as he is definitely deserves. But this guy right here, a hard-working rider, digging deep, and you know, I don't think we've seen the best out of the 41 yet, to be honest with you.
And he's roughly new to the motorcycle as well. You know, got to take that into consideration. You know, the adapting of the bike when you're switching teams and other different elements there come into play. Casey, you've done a couple times in your career also. It's takes you a little bit to kind of get familiar not only with your machine, but the people that help you with your bike also.
Yeah. And you know, and I think Dax is watching him. He's one of those riders. Once as he matures, he's only going to get more and more solid as time goes on. So it's still Deegan and Bennick, and Pruganiers backing the number 3 spot on the 319. Aiden Shive, I believe, still is that 4th place position, with Blackmer, Jet, and Mason still battling for the remainders there of the top 5.
Seems like Deegan's not having as much of a hard time as this one as he did yesterday.
No.
Definitely a bit easier for him, I'd say.
Absolutely.
So it looks like we're 13 minutes into this moto.
Okay, that's what I was
trying to get here. Yeah, we're 13 minutes in on our 20+1 moto here, so still a lot of time left. We've seen this track jump up and grab some guys. We're definitely getting into some lappers now for sure. That's going to have an impact on some of the lines these guys have been taking. They've had it easy so far, kind of picking their way through where they want to go. Now they're going to be forced into some unfamiliar territory, possibly on the racetrack. You take that into consideration.
Here's another. I don't know how often, you know, people use tinted lenses or use different kind of lenses, but with today's overcast skies, you would figure that you would use something with a little less tint. Now all of a sudden we're starting to see some sunshine come out. Could that be a factor as far as eyesight goes? Because we are getting late in the day, and the angle of the sun is starting to be right where it could be, right in your eyes.
For sure, it's kind of crazy, just as you were saying, that the sun literally just peeked out. But yeah, the lens will definitely play a part on how well you can see and choose your lines. But I'd want a little bit of tint at least. But with how it started, I mean, not much. So you really just have to see what's coming.
Yeah, and it's not that bright. I mean, it's not at that much of an angle, but give it another hour or so, and it could start to play a little bit of havoc shining in your eyes. But man, Hayden Deegan not having any issues whatsoever. As we roll through another lap, 148. just over 15 minutes, so we'll be at the 17-minute mark. I'm going to start assuming and thinking we're going to have about 3-4 more laps, maybe. That is total guesstimation at this particular point. But 3 laps is about what I expect after this lap.
Yeah, he just seems to be chipping away a second a lap from Dax and just slowly pulling that gap away. So that's all you need to do. That's all he needs to keep doing is just riding smooth and keeping up that pace.
Well, do you think Quintine feels this is a successful trip to the U.S. in his first Mini-O's?
I would 100%, I would 150% say it's a very successful trip coming over here, not knowing the terrain. If it's his first time, I'm not too sure. I don't know him, but if it is, then I would say it's a very impressive ride to come out and hang with these guys, because these guys aren't playing around.
Absolutely not. When you get a race against the likes of what we have here in amateur American motocross in these 250 Pro Sports and 450 Pro Sport classes, you literally are racing against the best in the world at this level.
How many spectators, Casey, did you have when you ran over race the junior national stations event?
Man, I don't even know, but a lot of them didn't speak much English. I would say.
And your Finnish wasn't good, or whatever they speak. Where were you guys? Finland, right?
Yes, we were in Finland, and I speak no Finnish. So.
Their English is better than your Finnish?
Yes, it is, believe it or not.
Thank goodness for that, huh?
I'm just curious. It's interesting to see a rider like that come over here. I'd be curious to see what he thinks about an event of this size when you roll up here to an amateur national event and see this many people, this many motorhomes. I've been to a lot of events in Europe, and they certainly get some good crowds in some locations. But amateur-wise, I'd be curious how this stacks up to some of his bigger amateur races over there in France or anywhere else in Europe he's racing.
Yeah, especially you noting this is like one of the biggest amateur races of the year, and all these people are here watching, and to come out and compete with these guys and be consistently in the top 3, top 5, it's impressive for him.
Got about 3 minutes left, roughly. We're kind of guessing here based on feedback we get up here in the tower. Timing and scoring for watching at home is not completely accurate with the lap count, but it is correct on the leaderboard, without a doubt. Hayden Deed in control this one, laying down consistently fast lap times, putting time every lap here. It looks like on his teammate Dax Bennick in second, Frenchman Quentin in third, Hayden Scheib in fourth, rounding out top 5, Christopher Blackmere doing a good job. All these guys, I mean, again, they're not going slow in the back. These lap times are incredibly quick. What we've seen throughout the day here, just those top 3 are just on next level.
Yeah, and Deegan's still in the 40s. Everyone else is dropping back, slowing down a little bit, but he's still got that pace going.
And just watching him here drop down to the pit on your screen here, you can see how aggressive he was to want to make that pass around that lapper before getting up the hill. He didn't want to waste any time, so he'd have a clear track up towards the finish line. 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes to go. We just got word here. 2 minutes to go. Or 2 laps. Sorry, 2 laps to go.
Yeah, I don't see this one getting away from Hayden right now. He's rolling, and I don't think anyone's going to catch him.
Bennick will get the benefit coming through these lappers of having someone gone here before him already, so he will get that benefit, but unfortunately not enough time for real estate, as Megawalt likes to say, left here in this one with 2 laps to go.
Well, somewhat of an uneventful event as far as 250 Pro Sport class racing is concerned for our second moto, especially after what we bared witness to last night with the 450 Pro Sport and the final and closing moments of our first moto racing action.
We used to say a boring race is good for somebody.
Maybe for Hayden Deegan.
That's right. It's a great race for Hayden, so there you go.
Yeah, I would definitely like this over. If I was him, I would like this one over the one yesterday.
Oh, yeah. I would think, though, man, I mean, that would have to be a pretty good charge. I mean, it would be taxing in a lot of respects, but, I mean, it would have to be kind of an inspiring feeling to be able to do something like that, though.
Oh, for sure. The feeling after that, Moto coming from way back and ending up winning is definitely unreal, as the white flag flies right now for the last lap.
a good, strong win like this obviously is validation for your program. It's validation for your team. You know, it makes you feel good about that you've done the right things, putting your work in, you know, on the days of the practice track. That when you can come out here and execute and have this solid of a victory. And again, over a teammate who's been there for a little bit with you. So, you know, those guys are familiar racing with each other. I think each individual person here has got to take a look at where they're at. We talked about it earlier. You know, perspective is key too. I'm assuming this is the first time that Quentin's raced this track, and I don't know how many times he's raced yet here in the U.S. at all. So I'm not as familiar with his program, but he's 100%, you know, putting in a great ride. It's anywhere near his first time racing here, but just on this track in general. So, you know, that's a victory in itself for him to take home and be proud of himself that he's got two of the best in this class right now that are about to move up onto the pro ranks, you know, in the near future. And he's out here, you know, running fairly competitively with them, you know, for what he's up against, not having had the extra experience that those guys have here at this location.
Last lap of racing right now underway. Hayden Deegan turning a 149 just that last time around has increased his lead to just over 12 seconds. Another 15 seconds back from Dax Bennick, your second place rider, to Quintine Premiers. The third place ride, Aiden Shive, and fourth, Chris Blackmer. Now, Shive is another 20 seconds back, so those are the gaps in the front four. And then it's only a second or so back to Blackmer and Trevin Nelson in fifth and sixth. Another 20 back to Nate Mason in seventh. Kimball Jett running in the 8th place position. 9th place is Corey Karsten. Jackson Pascal rounds out the top 10, and Hayden Deegan takes the checkers here in the 250 Pro Sport class and the win, with the overall going 1-1 for 250 Pro Sport here at the 2022 and 51st running